Mrs. Chester. He's very excited about his dinner.
Or I think industrials were below us.
Yes, you're right. They were.
They were horror, soap operas, horror.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Soap opera and horror. Which was that's a good question. Soaps or horror? Which was lower rent in the late 80s?
Well, I was part of both, but see, I married a soap star, and then I was in a horror film, so there you go.
Okay, there you go.
Soap opera and the horror.
It's a book by me.
There you go.
So at that time, you know what, I actually, if I may mansplain this for a second, I'd imagine soaps were probably more ghettoized than porn or horror, because the audience was women.
Yes.
Right?
Women and college students. We had so many college students.
Yeah, but you know what?
They were starting courses on our
Here's the
soap.
thing. People moved from horror, people moved from
To porn.
From soaps to regular TV, and they also moved from soaps to movies. But you didn't move from. I mean, one of the rare ones was Patricia Arquette that actually moved, from horror movies to, other movies.
And Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Okay.
And Lawrence Fishburne.
Well, yeah, but Lawrence Fishburne what do you call it? When
Jamie Lee Curtis, somebody just said.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, Matt McConaughey, Renee Zellweger, Kevin Bacon.
That's further down the line. That's further down the line, though. We're talking the 80s.
I love a great movie with Samuel Jackson.
I can't tell you. Hey, wait. I cannot tell you how many people turned us down.
DiCaprio and Critters 3.
When we were looking for people, how many people turned us down saying that they didn't want to get pigeonholed in horror?
Yeah, well.
It was true back then. Somebody wants to know.
I wish someone had told me that.
You're trying to defend your position, and you're the fucking perfect example of it.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, who are you talking to?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm pigeonholed?
Yeah, you were.
Damn. And it feels so good. It feels so good.
I've been pigeonholed
before I paid extra.
I can hear you, Toy.
Yeah?
Toy, somebody asked Toy what it was like to be kissed by Robert.
Oh my God. It was wonderful. I'd never been kissed like that before. That's where I learned that. It was
And Toy, somebody else asked, how many takes did that take, actually? How long did that scene take to film?
I mean, it was all day. I think we did it over a 3-day period, actually.
Yeah, it was about 3 days.
Effects, yeah. But Robert also, his teeth had fallen in my mouth, and there was definitely hot and Valencia. But it was wonderful. It was my first on-screen kiss. Gary Coleman was my first, but that was TV.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it was good. It was good fun. Robert's a good sport. Thank you.
Can you tell us about that? I'd like to know what it's like to kiss Gary Coleman.
Gary
And
Coleman.
were you taller than him at the time?
I know, and I was. He came out of the theater, and he was older than me as well, but he wasn't that great to me. He would tell the director, where does she go, and what does she do? And I was like, hey, I'm here. Talk to me. So then when we kissed, he really went in to kiss me, and I was just like, oh, he's not bad. He wasn't funny.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is my favorite moment of this thing right now.
I think
that was my favorite moment of the whole
I'll give it all.
The teeth sealed it.
Our first screen kiss. What was that?
Oh, man.
All right, mine was Captain Riker on Star Trek Next Generation.
Mine was Nurse in Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Ooh.
I had to kiss a lot of people on Just the 10 of Us, but I remember one of my first kisses was Matt LeBlanc.
I love that.
I've never had one.
Oh, no! Yes! The virgin! Kenny!
Good seeing you.
I don't know kiss was, but I was Drew Barrymore's first on-screen kiss.
No.
So when she said she'd never been kissed before,
Oh, brother, never.
I was her dirty little secret.
You lied to Andra,
Love it.
and you know it. Here's a
I
question.
think actually Rodney might have been her actual real first kiss. I don't know.
Here's a question for Nick Benson. What special effects scene are you the most proud of? Oh God, I get that all the time. Out of this film? I would imagine
I think all time.
all time. Let's go all time and this film. Oh man, that's a tough one because they all have different challenges for every scene that we work on, and you know, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough call on this film between both the scenes that I worked on. I really had a lot of respect though for Brooke and that scene that we did with the cockroach. That one's probably. I'd have to say that's probably my favorite because I was a Nightmare fan to begin with, and I didn't even know I'd get on the film. So,
Yeah, that was amazing.
after hours and
Yeah,
hours,
that's good.
we're still friends. So,
The question's actually for Brooke and Nick. They were actually wondering how long did makeup take for that scene? How long was that process to go through that?
There were so many moving parts to that scene because I'm in the box, then I have half cockroach arms, then I have full cockroach arms, then I'm running down the shrinking hallway, then I'm in the roach motel. So it was like I would say the one time when I have the cockroach arms full and then all the draping flesh, that was like, I want to say, I remember sitting with Screaming Mad for 2-3 hours because he was airbrushing veins and detail upon detail, and then getting out. And I had this big thing that wrapped around where I put the arms in, and so it was probably about 3 hours max for me. But I don't know if Nick.
well, we had, like she said, there's a lot of moving parts to it. We had a 3-foot animatronic cockroach that was part of that. We had shots in the box. It's like she said, we had different sets, different things, and it's all intercut. So
I would say people always ask me, and I'm not sure, Nick, maybe you know, like from beginning to end, I think it was like a week and a half between all the sets and stuff, or was it more like 2 weeks? I can't remember.
It was at least.
I know we might have.
Yeah.
Week and a half.
Well,
yeah.
wait a minute, because we started on the location itself. I would say 2 weeks. Yeah,
Right.
that's accurate. Yeah, 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Long time.
And I have a really good question here for Toy. This is from Jude Herdman. It says, I read in an interview with yourself and you spoke about the character, a stereotypical black woman. Could you speak a little more on that, please?
Oh, wow. I think she's stereotypically a nerdy girl and like a hip square nerd. And she's happens to be a black woman. So I played her as any other person that was book smart. I'm sure that was different for the time, but actually in the 80s, outside of Urkel, there really wasn't much to go on except for my own self. So it was my caricature of me, of what I thought a smart, well-studied, feisty, opinionated little girl would be. So I just kind of she was derived from that thought. But nowadays, I think what I hear and what I heard back then was loved, and I didn't know that. I wish I knew how loved she was back then, as much as I know now in that little Sheila, and it's all racist. So I like to remove. I will always be African American. It's what I am. It's what you see when you look at me. But just like us, it's a melting pot. I was happy that I thought hard to allow that, variation of this black girl to live, and instead of trying to reach for a stereotype. I think she was cut out a lot more because they didn't know what to do with that. I know I was supposed to be at the scene, Brooke and I both were supposed to be at the scene with Andros and Lisa and Danny and Tuesday, discovering Freddie's house. Brooke stayed at work and I went to the library. So I said, if you can cut me out of the scenes, then we can really this is just who she is, and let's play that. And so I committed to that. There's some people that loved it and there's some people that didn't, and I think it's just another representation of who a black woman is who happens to be the choice to stay in school. And that's what I see showing up now 32 years later at the cons. A lot of young ladies are like, you inspired me. Someone actually cosplayed me. And I was like, get the that's wonderful. So I don't know if I answered the question, but that's who Sheila was to me, and that's the commitment I made to her.
I personally, I love our friendship too, in the movie and outside the movie. But
we
it
were
was this like tough chick and this square chick, and we just clicked, and I love that. It was kind of like to show people that people can get along that are all different ways, not even just colors, but just like, you know, if you're a certain way and your friend's a certain way, you can still, you know, totally be friends, and somebody can do your homework for you.
You made me cooler, and I think I made you smarter. But in our friendship side of that, you know, we shared a dressing room together, and our prom dresses. And there's so many different things we did together that we didn't even know. So Brookie and I, to this day, I'm like, my pillow's in the other room. But you know, your husband flirted with me the other day on Instagram. I told him that our love is, I swear, I told him that, and he's like, I know. But it was an interesting movie, interesting time. And I think, like Ken Sagoes,
Brian loved you.
Well, yes, I love too. But Ken paved the way for a character like Sheila to exist. You know, like to follow that and then know that, okay, I can exist in this world as well. Like we all went to the same school together. That was cool for me to follow that. Right, Ken?